KCAA Loma Linda.
KCAA
106.5
is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
For lead.
Brought to you by the Coalition to End Childhood Lead Poisoning.
Would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of Tech Time Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out Tech Time Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Well, welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the common everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology with a bit of whiskey on the side. I'm Nathan Mumm. Welcome to our show today. We live stream during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to watch us live or visit us at techtimeradio.com, or you can even tweet us at hashtag TechTimeRadio during the show, and we'll do our best to respond to you live as we broadcast. I'm your host, a technologist with over 30 years of expertise working for companies like Microsoft and Vulcan Inc., and a keynote speaker on technology subjects from cybersecurity to blockchain and everything in between. My co-host here, Mike Gorday, is an award-winning author originally from Arizona. He's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology with a 20-plus year career helping others understand human behavior so they can make better decisions. Mike keeps me from geeking out while providing insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. We are 2 friends that come from different backgrounds but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Welcome, everybody. How you doing, Mr. Gorday?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
No.
Why is that?
It feels like Monday.
It feels like Monday, even though it's Tuesday
Even
here?
though it's Tuesday.
Okay. Well, okay. You know what? It doesn't have anything to do with probably the Pacific Northwest weather, does it? No.
No.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, let's get
Was that on my cue card?
That was on your cue card. Did you see cue card 2? All right, here we go. Let's now get ready to start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right. Amazon secures rockets to launch its broadband project. And why are technology companies removing the evidence of war crimes? Do you think that this should be edited, or should the content be left on the social media platforms? Mike's going to be talking about that in our top stories in the first 5 minutes. And next, we have Imovie updates that change the ways you edit video. What if I could tell you that you didn't have to know how to edit video any longer? If you have an Apple PC or an Apple iOS device, you can now use the new iMovie app, and it will put stuff together for you and create your own movie experience by knowing what your subjects are and your still photography to create a movie. Would that save you time to do like the whole movies for your friends and family?
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was, what's the point? Because now we're going to have a movie that makes its own self with actors that don't exist.
Well, no,
because the technology.
still it's your pictures though. It's still your pictures, so you still have that. We're gonna be talking about that, and then who is John Scully? Do you know who John Scully is?
Does he have anything to do with Agent Mulder?
Nope, that's not. No, we'll explain
Okay.
who he is and why he's essential to the computer world.
Okay.
Finally, we'll ask the question
truth
on
is
our
out there.
Tech Time Radio roundtable: what is happening between Twitter and Elon Musk? That's going to be a roundtable
He
discussion.
just bought a bunch of stuff.
That's right. In addition, we have our standard features, including This Week in Technology, Mike's mesmerizing moment, and of course, our pick of the day, whiskey tasting. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Now it's time to start our show with our loaded question of the week, brought to you by Elderberry Boost. Get your Elderberry Boost today at elderberry-boost.com. Mike and Odie, here's your loaded question. Dun-dun-dun-dun. What do you love about your hometown?
That it's not here.
That's not here? What does that mean?
That means it's sunny there and not here.
That's what you love about your hometown?
Yeah,
Are you saying that you need to see some sun? Is that what you're doing?
I need some sun.
You need some sun?
Yeah.
How about sitting on
The second question I have,
yeah?
a follow up, is where'd all the liquor go?
Where'd all the liquor go? Oh, we're gonna be talking about that. We got it.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. We gotta be talking about it. Odie, question goes to you.
I'm gonna say the diversity of my little hometown.
Okay, where's your hometown from?
I grew up in Lake City, and I grew up right on the border of Sandpoint, so it's like somewhat nice, but also on the brink of like
How do you,
tweakers and stuff.
how do you
Okay.
call Lake City a small town?
No, it's not a small. Well, it's not a small town, but I consider it my own little bubble.
I used to
That's-
work in Lake City.
Is that where you sold cars?
That's right.
Oh, did you sell Lake City Auto, whatever it is, that place? Is that?
Yeah, I used to work there.
Oh,
Okay, all right. We're gonna have to talk about that in another
we don't
Mike's
need to-
mesmerizing
yeah,
moment.
We don't need to talk about that.
All
That was
right.
that was a horrible, shameful part of my life.
Okay,
I don't
well,
talk about.
Mike,
Traumatic.
as always, we have our whiskey tasting during the commercials to see if our selected whiskey gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up for our pick of the day. Make sure you listen all the way through to pick up a few interesting facts that will make you go,
There you go.
Now, we got Mark's Mumbles today. We have Mark's Mumbles has music and everything.
Oh yeah,
Mark's Mumbles, we have moved
can't
up
wait
to
for his
to
music.
for a whole segment kind of on here. So you're going to want to listen to that. Absolutely. So you're asking about the whiskey. This is the whiskey that Mark dropped off. There was like 18 different whiskey selections. And so he drank all the whiskey
I
until he left the bottom part for us so we could show the bottle on the show and then we can taste it. And then he's
are
already
you sure?
well, yeah, I know.
I mean, because you pre-taste everything. I thought maybe you just over pre-tasted it.
well, if I did, this would be some good stuff, I think. So I think we
Yeah.
got a treat coming on up for us. All
Okay.
right. Well, now it's time to move to our first segment, bringing you the top technology stories everyone will be talking about for weeks to come.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
All right, story number 1, Amazon secures rockets to launch its broadband project. We have the audio announcement from Science Plus, our partner for space and science news.
After successfully launching 4 crewed tourist missions to space on Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos is ready to launch his satellite constellation to boost internet connectivity. On April 5, Amazon announced that they had signed 3 private companies to launch its low Earth orbit Kuiper satellite system. The company will begin testing a pair of Kuiper prototype satellites later this year. Will the Kuiper system be able to provide better internet than Starlink and OneWeb and attract millions of customers?
This is the question.
Well,
That is the
sounded
question.
that sounded like an AI-generated voice.
No, it's actually a guy.
That's a real person.
Yeah, so you're gonna make him not feel good. Hey, he works at the Science Plus in the Space and Science News. So you don't have to be a radio voice.
He's
to be
not.
a-
He's not a computer.
No,
Acting
that was
like
not a
human.
computer.
That's a
No,
human acting
that
like
was-
a computer.
No, that's just a.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Story. So the next 5 years, 3 new heavy lift rockets will put thousands of satellites into low orbit as it passes Amazon's project. The project aims to provide broadband connection using a constellation of over 3,236 satellites.
Yeah, watch out, Elon.
Rival Starlink said that it has more right now than 2,300 satellites in orbit already, and it plans to launch another 1,500. So it's going to be a race to see who has more satellites
I
taking
think
up
that's.
that.
I think that's kind of what this sounds like more than anything else. It's just sort of a tit for tat type.
Yeah, it's amazing. You wouldn't believe it, but there's 3 companies. One is Blue Origin,
No way.
Jeff Bezos' own company, which will be manufacturing these satellite launches. Amazon says this project aims to provide higher speed, low latency broadbands to customers, including households, businesses, government agencies, disaster relief, and mobile operators.
Mm-hmm.
It says that since it has such a great product line, including the Echo and Kindle, that they believe they will be able to produce the best solution product for your network connectivity.
All right, watch out, Elon. He's coming for you.
Project Caper will provide fast, affordable broadband to tens of millions of customers. And it says David Limp, the senior vice president of Amazon Device and Services, in a statement saying that it will help the underserved communities around the world.
You know why it's called Caper?
Why is that?
Because it's spelled like Queeper, right?
It is.
There's a huge solar disk outside our solar system that is called the Caper Belt.
Okay.
Which I'm
pretty sure that's where they got the name from.
That's where they're just going to circle the whole solar system.
That's what they're going to do. So just think of this.
Right.
Just think, soon we're going to have our first contact where we meet the Vulcans, right? So we're going to have that happen. How are they going to ever be able to get into our solar system with all of these satellites that are going to be up there? I mean, it's going to be literally.
That's what WALL-E's all about.
I know. It's going to be literally, you're going to have to wait for that one opening in the belt. Have you ever seen like a video game? You got like that one opening, and then you're going to have to dash in to make sure you don't hit all the satellites that are out there.
Yeah, you might live in video games a little bit too much.
Okay. All right. Okay. Story number 2 is yours, Mike.
Well, the question.
Yep.
Are technology companies removing the evidence of war crimes?
Okay.
So this comes to us from the BBC.
Yep.
Just 3 months last year, TikTok removed 80 million uploaded videos that in some way broke its rules. This is because of all the powerful artificial intelligence combined with human moderators that removed them at lightning speeds, 94.2% before anyone had seen them, according to this report.
Yep.
Systems that search for violative, I don't even know if that's a word, violative.
It is. That's what they have it. That's what they have it listed as.
Had removed 17 million of the videos automatically, and other social media companies share a similar story. So we've heard about this quite a bit over the past many years, about especially because of the all the
censorship. So you can get pulled. We had somebody on here that talked about he got pulled because he was talking about Bitcoin on YouTube and they didn't know what was going on at the time.
This all comes down to whether a private organization falls under things like free speech and everything.
Correct.
So some people are asking now whether big tech, by removing so much content, is also removing footage of war crimes that is going on in the Ukraine. TikTok was already hugely popular around the world before Russian President Vladimir Putin's decision to invade Ukraine, but the war has been a coming-of-age moment for the platform. They may well be uploading a piece in the jigsaw of evidence that will one day be used to prosecute said war crimes.
Yep.
But they may also be breaking TikTok's and other social media companies' strict rules on graphic content. TikTok is a platform that celebrates creativity, but not shock value or violence, which is part of the TikTok rules. We do not allow content that is gratuitously shocking, graphic, sadistic, or gruesome. And some, but not all, content depicting possible atrocities could fall into that category.
Okay.
So, this is that really big gray area.
Yep.
Researchers are unclear how much Ukrainian user-generated content TikTok and other social media companies such as Meta, parentheses, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube were taking down. TikTok is not as transparent as some of these other companies, which that's saying something.
Well, they're made out of China, right? So
they're China-made.
It's a China-based company, so they
when
can
we're
kind of do what
talking
they
about
want to
the
do.
transparency of social media companies, we're talking about muddy water in the first place.
Correct.
But not all social media platforms have the same policies when it comes to graphic content. Telegram has been hugely important in sharing videos from the ground in Ukraine. It also happens to have an extremely light touch policy on moderation. Videos that would be taken down on Twitter or Facebook do stay up on this social platform.
On Telegram. So you kind of have Telegram, right? So they're like, they keep everything up. So if you post something on Telegram, it pretty much is very light. They'll keep it up there pretty much unless it is like somebody being stabbed or very violent type of deal.
When we talk about the freedom of speech here in the states,
Yep.
there are still rules that govern the freedom of speech. You can't just say whatever you want.
Yep.
That doesn't necessarily fall under, all the stuff around hate. Well, actually, it does fall under hate speech now too. But
Like we're on the
used
radio,
to-
FCC, right?
yeah,
There's a couple words we can't do, and
we
so
can't cuss.
Odie's already over there. If we drop the F bomb, she's gonna hit it, and all of a sudden you're gonna have like 16 seconds of dead space, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, I guess Meta was the only one that had a tailored response to this, and they said they will only remove this type of content when it glorifies the violence or celebrates the suffering of others, or when the content is extremely graphic or violence. For example, video footage of a dismemberment.
Okay.
In relation specifically to the war in Ukraine, we're exploring ways to preserve this type and other types of content as we remove it or when we remove it. So, what side are you on?
Are you on the
TikTok or the Telegram side?
Or am I kind of in between? Am I
Or
Meta?
Are you a Meta? Are you a Meta side?
No, I can't be anything with Meta side. I can't be anything for
you a Meta?
Facebook, right? So I would kind of. So here's the deal, right? These are private companies.
Yes.
So
these
if
are
they
private
choose to regulate what they have available for you to post or what's for you
That's
to
right.
do, when you're not paying anything for these services are free. I think
This
that they
is-
should be able to censor what they want to put on
This
their
is
platform.
This is essentially the virtual version of no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Correct.
Right. So yeah, they have the ability to say what goes on their platforms or not. Of course, they get in trouble because they're talking about how transparent they are and all this other stuff. But that's neither here nor there.
So I kind of say I'm kind of on the I'm not on the TikTok side, but I'm okay with platforms having censorship of their content they put on there.
Okay.
Now I just got accepted on the Truth app, right? So I've been waiting 2 weeks for that.
What
right?
number are you?
So no, I'm no longer a number. I was allowed to sign up for the
you
Truth
actually
app.
got it. Okay.
Yeah. So that platform, they're censoring what you can post about them also. So
Of course.
so I can't go on and say
At the
I
bottom,
hate truth and
Yeah.
truth is such a joke or anything. They're going to ban my account, get rid of it. So they
That's
have the
right.
same user agreements as everybody else. So
This
there is
is-
no platform that
This is all about image
correct.
engineering.
Yeah.
All this is, and the company wants to establish itself as a certain image. They're going to automatically delete things. But this is not something new.
No,
This happened in ancient Egypt.
this happened during World War I, World War II. I mean, they had Disney Company, World War I, right? Disney Company was doing propaganda films for the United States.
Sure, but
right? I mean,
yeah.
so it was like, you hate these people, you hate this. This is
Well,
what's
yeah,
going on.
that's
this is
all
what-
part of the thing.
Yeah.
In ancient Egypt, they tried to get rid of an entire pharaoh from history. They tried to
Erase him?
They tried to erase him out of that would
out of stone tablets.
well, not quite stone tablets. They chipped his name off of everything they could find.
Okay.
That was
Censorship back then.
yeah. I
There
mean
you
that's something that's been going on forever.
All right. So I guess what side are you on? I said I'm kind of more on the TikTok side. What are you?
That's a very complicated question.
Okay. Well, a simple
because
answer.
we have all this information that is good for people to know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wouldn't want my kids to be watching it.
Okay.
At the same time, they should probably be aware of some of these things.
Okay.
And the fact that, again, social media being such a big part of
So you're in
this
the middle. So you're
particular
meta.
event-
You're a meta.
Shh, don't
Oh.
say it. Don't say it.
All right, there you
I'm
go.
going to go in the middle somewhere else.
Okay.
How
all
about
right.
that?
Okay. Middle someplace else. All right. Story number 3. Major iMovie update arrives to the iOS and iPad OS to help create movies in an instant with iMovie 3.0.
Yeah.
Apple has announced iMovie 3.0 available today, which allows users on an iOS and iPad OS to more easily compile photos, movies, and music into a home video, thanks to 2 new features we're going to be talking about. iMovie is the popular app from Apple. It allows you to create, and essentially this is the dumbed-down version or the easier version to use than trying to use like an Adobe Premiere or any of these. I mean, it takes years.
This is the McDonald's version.
This is the McDonald's version, yes,
of video.
of videos. But iMovie works really well. I've used iMovie before myself
Mhm.
to put together 30-minute films, and they did a great job of transactions and having different items that I'd put in there and be able to cue music and cue it up and down. But essentially what they're doing is they have been behind the ball game because both Instagram and TikTok have already been using AI to allow people to create videos in a much simpler format. For
Mhm.
example, right now, you can automatically adapt music to fit any video clip on both TikTok, Instagram, or any of the new third-party social media music created videos. So music created videos are the big thing. Everybody likes music in the background. So you can
Yeah.
find a
Oh,
third-party
yeah.
app that automatically does that. But Apple finally got up to the bat at the plate. They're behind 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's a full count, and they decided to swing for the fences, and they created both Storyboards and Magic Movie.
Maybe they were trying to think about how to get a Starlink set up too.
Storyboards is one of the 2 new features where you can choose 20 templates to fit the videos, photos, and audio tracks all into placeholders, and you essentially drag and drop it onto the desktop, and it will create a movie for you. So Storyboards, it just looks like a regular storyboard that you think of.
Yeah.
You drag and drop it, and it puts the movie in for it. Now, meanwhile, Magic Movie feature allows you to select an album of photos and videos, and it will compile these into a movie. So you can have random photos, random videos, and you tell it to go into the directory itself, and you decide to do Magic Movie, and it will go through all those photos, and it'll go through all those videos, and it will create a storyboard with the beginning, middle, and end segment based upon the context of talking, the pictures that are available there, and it will analyze dialogue, movement, and arrange it to fit and have your movie picked.
Yeah. You know, my father used to do that with his slideshows.
With slideshows,
Of
remember
vacations.
slideshows?
Yeah.
And you click through it, and here
That's
we are
right.
now on our
Click, click.
vacation.
Click,
Here we
click.
now on our
That's
vacation.
right. Click, click.
There's a description that adds certain clips. So if you want a close-up shot or something else, you can fit it into the movie for iMovie 3.0. It is available for download on any of the Apple formats right now. So if you want to take a look at it, I have actually seen the features in action. I played with it this morning. It's surprising how few of the taps and clicks are required to make a movie from start to finish. It looks like it's evolving from the trailer feature that they used to have now to essentially create a competitor to TikTok and Instagram in creating a full movie itself.
You know, I think we will have reached our zenith of technology expertise when we completely get rid of the human element altogether.
Okay, so now I did it with a bunch of pictures of my wife and my kids on a family trip, right? And so I had a bunch of these pictures to the peninsula, the rainforest over there.
Right.
And so I put it together. The movie was not very cohesive. So let me just tell you.
Oh, are you bashing this?
Well, it didn't quite. I don't know how the AI is supposed to work.
Maybe you should have plugged and played some music with it.
Well, so no, it got me some music. It got me some generic music that it put in the background.
Okay.
It was fine. But it essentially had some beginning photos of our trip at the end of the event, and it was kind of trying to do a chronological order of it. And so it didn't quite get it. So what it's doing is it's taking probably the data of those videos,
The metadata?
the metadata and the details of the video and the files. And what happened is I did a whole rename of all these pictures. So every single modified date was exactly the same instead of the beginning or the end. So it probably didn't know what to do with it. So it thought that those were all created on the same day. So it was all one day lumped together.
Yeah, you know, Facebook's always telling me about that too.
What's that?
All my memory little things, and they do a little picture.
Sometimes
show.
I like those though. Don't you like when they put 10
Yeah,
years ago?
sometimes.
You're friends with this person 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm not friends with that guy anymore. Okay. All right, Mike.
Okay, that's awesome.
Mike, our time is up. We got through the top stories of the week. If you want to learn more about this, of course, you can always visit us online at techtimeradio.com and click on our episode section or blog or get more details regarding the stories and features. Now, we're getting ready for our whiskey tasting during the break. But up next, we have Gwen Way joining the show for our Gadgets and Gear segment. We have a gadget that just might change the way you watch TV or read a book or even entertain a pet. So make sure you join us after the break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Mike Odie and myself. We'll see you after this commercial break.
Hey, Mike,
What?
have you heard of elderberry?
Only in reference to a Monty Python movie.
Well, let me tell you, Elderberry Boost, again, that's elderberry-boost.com.
Elderberry Boost.
Yes, Mike, that's Elderberry Boost. You can choose organic Elderberry Boost, that 8-ounce size. It's available on sale right now at $11.99. But you're listening here right now on Tech Time Radio, so you need to go to Elderberry, that's ELDERBERRY-boost.com, and get some today.
Elderberry Boost.
Elderberry is an all-natural organic immune system booster and antiviral. Elderberry is known to actively fight against viruses, including colds and the flu. It also works as a natural remedy for allergies, cancer, digestion, heart disease, high cholesterol, headache, toothache, weight loss, and reduced inflammation.
It's a natural and healthy diuretic and has many antiviral properties. While it is famous for fighting the flu, it is effective for any illness.
Elderberry Boost was created to provide a quality organic elderberry to their customers. After searching years ago for a perfect elderberry syrup, none could be found, so they essentially created their own homemade recipe.
If you would like to get 15% off your first order of Elderberry Boost, just put in the discount code TechTime at checkout.
Again, that's elderberry-boost.com.
Elderberry Boost.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you ready to launch your new career in coding? Treehouse has one of the best and most affordable online classrooms for you. At Treehouse, we've rethought the learning process and built a proven system to get you the skills and knowledge you need to achieve your goals. When you're done with the course, you haven't just watched a video. You've learned, practiced, and absorbed the key concepts. Choose to build a portfolio, create a network, and land your dream job with the boot camp style tech degree program. Land a dev job this year. Treehouse, teamtreehouse.com. Learn to code, design, and more, all on your own time. Enroll today. Classes range anywhere from 2 months to 9 months for completion. Whatever your goal is, we'll get you there. Start your 7-day free trial today by visiting teamtreehouse.com. Again, that's team, T-E-A-M, treehouse, Treehouse.com. And make sure to tell them Nathan sent you.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time is the radio weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mumm, and Mike Day. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break, and now let me tell you about what we're sipping in our pick of the day. Today we have chosen the Russell Reserve Single Barrel. It is part of the Wild Turkey's Russell Reserve line, named in honor of Jimmy and Eddie Russell, the father-son master distillery team that have combined the tenure of Wild Turkey in an excess of over 100 years. Crafted in the birthplace of bourbon with techniques dating back to pre-prohibition, Russell Reserve Single Barrel is matured in the deepest number 4 Alligator Char barrels. Each barrel has its own personality, yet still captures their signature toffee and vanilla tones. Rich oat taste meets the essential part of the experience right out of the bottle. The distillery is Wild Turkey in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, USA. It's a straight bourbon. There's no age stated, but it's estimated anywhere between 8 to 10 years old. It is 110 proof, non-chilled filtered, and the price is $60. And what is your first taste? What do you think of that?
It's got its own personality.
It's got its own personality.
This one's like my angry, sarcastic aunt.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of bite.
There's a lot of bite to it. You know what? I can taste the difference in the proof from that 80 proof to that 110 proof, and kind of like that. It's got a little burn. It's got a little burn.
The flavor's good.
Flavors really well. All right. Well, now we're about ready to get our producer, Gwen Way, is going to be looking at something in our next segment that we're excited to have join us. So, Odie, let's get ready to start it now.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right. Today on Gadgets and Gear, we're looking at Kickstarter Campaign. And we have our producer back, Gwen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back.
It is. I know. So tell us a little bit about this great product that I have now invested myself with after last night. You decided to share it, and I now have it. Well, I did. I got my Steam Deck finally, and I got a couple of these other things that I've gotten, but this is pretty cool. So tell us all about this product. First off, though, where can we find it, and what is this product for?
So people of a certain age, like the three of us, probably remember when they started offering all-in-one remotes.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like this huge thing, and you pushed all the buttons, and you had to push just the right button to get to just the right thing.
Yeah, that's when you kick your kid. And you see
that was my kid.
Yeah, that was your kid?
Yeah, go change the channel.
I was the kid.
Exactly.
I was like, okay, all right.
Well, now we've got an updated 21st century version of that called the Cheer Talk.
Cheer
Cheer
Talk?
is in cheerleader.
Should be called my kid.
Talk is in TikTok. I like the idea of changing the name to my kid.
My kid?
Kick
my kid in the back? Is that what you used to say?
Exactly. If I get one, I'm just going to make a label that says my kid and put it on there, and we'll be good.
All right. So this is a Kickstarter campaign, right? It's going on right now?
It is. It's going on through the 26th of April, so you've got a little bit of time.
Oh, perfect.
Um, I would say, however, that if you are interested in getting it at the early bird $35 cost,
Oh, it's
you
35
probably
bucks. So it's under 50 bucks. So this is a
it is
great deal
under
here.
50 bucks.
Okay,
If you want to get the
fantastic.
$35 cost, though, you probably want to jump on it relatively soon. There were 3,100 at that cost, and they're down to 151 available.
Ooh, it's going
So
like hotcakes.
get going.
All
Yeah.
right, so is it fully funded? That's the big thing on a Kickstarter campaign or any of these campaigns where they kind of do the crowdfunding. Is it fully funded yet?
It is more than fully funded. They're sitting
Okay.
at almost 280,000 of a $5,000 goal. So
Okay, so that means you're at like a 95% chance that you're actually going to get your device. Not when they say it, but just within a year of that
It'll
time frame.
it'll be a couple years.
Well, that's all right. Okay, so tell us what. So this is great price. So it's a 30 some odd dollar
It's a
price.
universal remote.
What does this
called-
remote do? Tell us about what this remote does, because there's a gazillion remotes out there that are universal. What's unique about this?
Well, this is universal for your television. It can be used as a mouse on tablets and computers. It even has a laser pointer to either help in presentations or entertain your cat.
So I can entertain my cat while I change the channel.
Of course.
I
Why
guess
not?
you can put your laser on the floor, and then you just keep on changing your channels up and down.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly,
There you go.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
my
like
kid
that.
can't even do that.
You can't do it. You're right.
So yeah, it's got a little bit of everything in there. It's pretty easy to use. You've got buttons. You can scroll using your thumb. It's just pretty remarkable. And the other really cool thing is that one charge lasts 20 days.
No way. That's like a BlackBerry device. You remember those BlackBerry devices?
Oh, they'd
Yeah,
last
you'd
Yeah,
plug it in
for the
forever.
3 minutes they were popular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now they're a little bit more popular than that. Yeah, I had them for a couple years now. They'll be.
Yeah, it's not like today where
Okay.
your iPhone is.
It's like lucky if it
We're-
gets a
we're-
full day
Changes
charge.
every
man.
Yeah,
year.
we're on one day charge,
Yeah.
and the iPhone 15 is tomorrow.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Okay. So how does this connect then? So it's a device, and I have seen it. There's plenty of stuff. Again, you're going to search for what is the keyword that you want to search for in Kickstarter again, Gwen? What are you going to put in there?
Cheer Talk. So CheerTok.
Okay.
I explained it to some of the folks at work today as cheer is in cheerleader, talk is in TikTok, and you just put those together, and it's easy to find.
All right. So is this like a Bluetooth device? Is this a Zigway device? What type of device? How does this connect to your machines or your tablets?
Well, it kind of depends on which device that you're connecting it to.
Okay.
You're able to actually use Bluetooth for connecting to actual devices like tablets, computers, things like that.
Okay.
TVs obviously do not use Bluetooth
Correct.
or Bluetooth, so it's a little more difficult for that connection.
So it's going to use the infrared, probably the infrared.
Exactly, just like your traditional remotes.
Yep. All right, so let me ask you this, and this is under their frequently asked questions because I did back it, so I know. But
What is their frequently asked
well,
question?
the number one question that gets brought up about this is, can I run it on two things at one time?
Well, we just talked about it, your cat and your TV.
Well, yeah, that's not quite it. So
Okay.
they're saying, like, can I have this run my television, and can I have this run my computer on the same device?
Yep,
You know-
and unfortunately, right now it's limited to one Bluetooth connection. That's kind of a limitation of the technology, though. Just like your AirPods can't be on your phone and your iPad at the same time, you can only have it connected to one.
Correct.
But I can use it to scroll through my computer while I'm changing the channel on the TV, or no?
So you cannot. So that was in there.
Okay. all right.
So you can, but you can still do the laser. See, so your whole laser thing is killing me.
Yeah.
Because if you consider that a function to have your cat go around, then I guess you could be having your cat run around, and it could be still scrolling up and down on your television or your computer.
I'm
You're
over
gonna
here
choose
trying
one.
to be impressed now. Come on.
Well,
You
it
could
does-
train the cat to follow the laser.
Train the
grab
cat
a
to
beer
change
out of
the channel.
Exactly.
That's right.
Well, that works too. I was going to say grab a beer or a whiskey and then bring it back to you, just following the laser.
All right, and this company is called CheerDot. They're based out of Los Angeles, California. CheerDot aims to change the world with the power of technology. You got to like that type of a saying.
Is
there.
it Cheer Dot or Cheer Talk?
It's CheerDots, but their actual device is Cheer Talk for the device itself.
I feel so old right now.
Why is that?
I'm feeling like really confused about all this stuff.
So CheerDot's the company.
Cheer Dots and Cheer Talks and laser pointers with mouse pads on my television changer.
Yeah, you know what? This is the gadget for the everyday person to use.
I need to have more kids so I have more remotes.
That's right. Okay, there you go. All right. Well,
give me a beer.
All right, Gwen, well, stick around because we're going to have you join us on our roundtable segment that we're going to be asking about. And so we want to keep you on the line because we're going to be talking about Twitter and the mess that's going on with Elon Musk. So we're going to do a Tech Time roundtable.
Is there a mess?
Oh, there is. So we want to make sure you stay in it. It is like a midday soap opera, man. This is crazy what is going on. We're going to try to distill it down between the three of us as we kind of break through some questions and maybe get some answers on that. But now we're going to head out to a commercial break. And when we return, we have This Week in Technology. See you right after the break.
My name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TECHTIME. That's STORI coffee.com.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we have April 11th, 1985. Scully forces out Jobs. Let's talk about this. Almost exactly 2 years after joining Apple, John Scully asked Steve Jobs to step down as the head of Macintosh division at an Apple computer board meeting. With the backing of the company's other executives, Jobs is stripped of nearly all responsibility at Apple. While Jobs retains the title of chairman, he has no authority and eventually leaves Apple itself. Who is John Scully? John Scully III was born April 6, 1939, as an American businessman, entrepreneur, and investor in high-tech startups. Scully was the vice president from 1970 to 1977 of the president of PepsiCo. In 1977 and 1983, he became the chief executive officer of Apple Inc. On April 8th, 1983, a position he held until leaving in 1993. Now, sales of Apple increased from 800 million.
Slow down, buddy.
Sorry. Sales, the whiskey got me. Sales at Apple increased from 800 million to 8 billion under Scully's management. Although many attributes his success, Scully joined the company just when Steve Jobs' visions and Steve Wozniak's creation became highly lucrative. His stint at Apple remains controversial due to his departure of the co-founder Steve Jobs from all sales structure, particularly regarding Scully's decision to compete with IBM in selling computers to the same types of customers. Others say that the two clash over management styles and priorities, but Jobs continued to focus on the future of innovation and Scully more on the current product line and profitability. Scully is recognized as an expert in marketing, in part because of his early success at PepsiCo, notably his introduction of the Pepsi Challenge, which allowed company to gain a market share on the primary rival, Coca-Cola. Apple lured Scully away from Pepsi in order to apply his marketing skills to the personal computer market. Steve Jobs successfully sealed the deal after he made his legendary pitch to Scully saying, "Do you want to sell sugared water for the rest of your life, or do you want to come with me and change the world?"
And fire me later.
Well, that's our This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some technology history with over 2 years of videos, you can visit us at techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows or sign up for our newsletter to subscribe to the best technical information or be part of our private Tech Timers face group to allow you to talk with us live all the time and post information. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have our Tech Time Roundtable with Gwen Way. Mike Roday and myself are going to be talking about Elon Musk and why he will now not be joining the Twitter board. We will try to figure out what's up with Elon Musk right after this commercial break.
Hey, Mike, did you know that Unidragon puzzles are a great relaxation?
Yes, I did.
The 21st century widespread digitalization pushes people to have gadget-free rest. In this case, puzzles become a convenient and actual way of having rest.
Yeah, they're a great way to relax. They give your brain a reboot.
Is make sure that you visit unidragon.com with the discount code for 10% off with the code TIME10. That's TIME, the number 10, for all of our Tech Time fans across the nation. Do you know that puzzles are relatively simple tools that solve a complex range of problems? In game form, we learn useful analytical and communicative skills that will find the application in work, study, and other spheres of life.
Yeah, they are great forms of relaxation and revitalization.
Do you know that Unidragon's collections now have dinosaurs?
Oh, that's one of my favorite things.
You got to make sure you keep the promo code. It's TIME10 because all of our audience across the nation can use TIME10 to receive a 10% discount at Unidragon. That's unidragon.com. Don't be fooled by other imitation puzzle makers. Visit unidragon.com, the only spot for your true thinking puzzles.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. I'm your host and technology expert. We have our human solution consultant extraordinary to my left here, my Lie to Me expert, Mike Corday, who helps us keep things on the level for the common everyday person. We are a technology show that will make you go, How's that whiskey tasting there, Mike?
About the same.
Are you ready for?
Big bite.
Are you ready
Good
for?
taste.
Okay, are you ready for this? Here we go.
Let's go.
All right. And now for Mark's.
Are you serious?
Mumbles.
I bet you sat up really late last night.
Was that storycoffee.com?
All right, Story Coffee. We like giving them Story Coffee. They're the best coffee that I ever taste.
Yeah,
it's great, and you have it now coming to your new location. So
awesome.
All right, here we go. Mark's Mumbles specifically about this whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Russell's Reserve Single Barrel is bottled at 110 proof, which is likely fairly close to the barrel proof, considered the fact that the Wild Turkey Barrel entry proof is distilled at a relatively low 107 to 115 degrees, resulting in a low barrel proof for Wild Turkey bourbons. By comparison to other distilleries, which typically enter the barrel at the maximum allowable 125 proof. Russell Reserve Single Barrel is the cherry on top of Wild Turkey's ice cream sundae of bourbon offerings. Russell's Reserve Single Barrel offers a taste of Wild Turkey bourbon in a format bourbon enthusiasts tend to enjoy most. Russell's Reserve Single Barrel is a big, bold Wild Turkey bourbon at its finest, showcasing some of the best individual barrels the distillery has to offer at a proof point that will satisfy bourbon enthusiasts seeking more robust flavor. Russell Reserve Single Barrel is an excellent bourbon that should be on every enthusiast's shelf and in their regular rotation of drinkers. That's Mark's Mumbles.
Is that his mumbles?
That's his mumbles.
He likes this one.
Yeah. I don't know if we may agree. We may have a different opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see whether thumbs up and thumbs down as we have going. So that is our Mark's Mumbles segment. Now we are going to get ready to move on to our segment that we were just talking about. Gwen Way is going to join us right back. So let's get ready to start that.
Welcome to Tech Time Radio's Round Table.
All right, we're getting Gwen Way back to join us. Here's what we got. Boy, this is an interesting story. We reported about it last week. It was breaking news that Elon Musk was going to join the Twitter board, right? And he was going to be all successful about that, and it was going to be great.
A bunch of shares.
Yeah, well, here's what we got. Elon Musk will not join the Twitter board. Elon Musk has decided not to join the board of Twitter. The company chief executive Parag Agrawal says Mr. Musk's appointment was due to become effective on Saturday after revealing that he had bought a 9.2% stake in the social media platform. However, Mr. Agrawal tweeted, Elon shared that the same morning that he was no longer interested in joining the board. The Tesla boss remains Twitter's largest shareholder, and the firm will remain open to his input, he added. Just over an hour after Mr. Agrawal's announcement, Elon Musk cryptically tweeted a single emoji. The tweet has since been deleted, but it was a smiley face with a tongue hanging on out. And then it was dash Elon Musk on April 11th, 2022. Mike, here we go. You're up first. Why is Elon Musk's behavior all over the place right now with Twitter?
Who knows?
Okay. Do you think that he has a plan, or is this just random stuff that's happening? What's going on with him? He wants to join. He doesn't want to join.
This is a very smart individual, and he does things according to his own rule book.
Okay.
Right. I mean, he's rocketed into no pun intended. He's rocketed into the electric car business.
Yep.
He's into going to Mars. He's created Starlink. You know, he's used to doing stuff on his own, the beat of his own drum, as my father would say.
Okay.
Right.
So do we think that's what's happening here?
Well, you know, I don't know too much about this because these are things that just generally don't interest me, but we know that he has a problem with Twitter.
He does.
And the fact that he's bought the majority shares in Twitter, there's, you know, that brings up some interesting questions about why would you do that?
Yeah,
Well,
that it does.
He's not actually the majority shareholder. He is just the largest shareholder.
Well, yeah.
Correct.
And I think there are a couple of reasons why he didn't actually take the board position after all.
Okay. And what's that, Gwen?
Well, first of all, when he accepted, it was limited to 2 years, so he would only be on the board for 2 years.
Okay.
Second, he was limited during that 2-year period of time and was not allowed to purchase more stock.
Oh, okay. So well,
Which
that
he
sheds
wouldn't
some
have
light
been
on some things.
Exactly, which means he wouldn't have been able to eventually make it up to that controlling share.
Okay. All right.
So right now he has this large share of Twitter.
Yep.
He has all the voting rights, but he doesn't have any of the restrictions. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have voting rights because he's not on a board, right? So he doesn't have voting rights itself, and we're going to talk about that.
He has voting rights as a shareholder, though.
Yeah, he has voting rights as a shareholder.
Yeah.
Which that means, and so I'm a shareholder in many companies, and a lot of times you get like these votes, and they'll get your opinion, and then they
has
share that with
9.2% of the share vote.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gwen, over the weekend, the Tesla chief suggested changing Twitter Blue premium subscription service, including slashing the price, banning advertising, and giving the option to pay in cryptocurrency Dogecoin. Doesn't that just that's just amazing? I don't know why he'd want to do that. He has no connection with that at all.
We
just
all
a
know
side
it's
hustle.
Just a hustle.
Pushing the edit button for everybody, which I think would be an excellent idea.
You think that'd be an excellent idea? I don't know whether there's any reason why you can't pay with cryptocurrency. It's becoming a standard process to pay for stuff. If you want to do your transaction on that,
it's still a volatile market.
Okay,
right. It is, but I'd also expand it
right
outside of just Doge, which is all that Elon wants.
Touché. There you go. Okay. All right. So next question. So Musk has more than 81 million followers, and he asked whether Twitter is dying and if its headquarters should be turned into a homeless shelter. He posts this too. So I mean, he just loves this platform.
Yeah,
he posts this stuff out there.
You know, this is about his end game. What's his end game, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to reinvent, or is his end game to reinvent Twitter, or is it to obliterate it and create his own?
Well, you know,
those are two extremes.
That's
right?
true. That's true. He created a poll on Twitter, and he asked whether the W should be removed from Twitter, with the only options of being yes and of course. So what is Twitter without the W?
Well, it's laughter.
Okay, so laughter?
It could be.
Okay.
Although he's gotten in trouble for
other
things like this before.
Yes, so he posted that too. So do you believe that Gwen, do you believe the board and the company is open to his changes?
I think that a lot of them feel that they don't have a lot of choice.
Okay.
I think honestly that Elon's end game is that he wants to take over Twitter.
I think so too. That would be my end game if I was doing it.
Exactly, because why reinvent the wheel? He may not like the way that Twitter is going, but if he can control that, then suddenly he's got one of the biggest social media platforms in the world.
Yeah, and regardless of his position as a shareholder or a board member, he still has a lot of influence over what is going to happen with it simply because of his position.
Okay.
His position and his
Regardless of
audience. Yeah.
regardless of the formality or informality of it.
Okay. So the Twitter offered Musk a seat on the board as the company said it believed it was the best path forward, with board members having to act in the best interest of the company and of all the shareholders. However, addressing Mr. Elon Musk's decision was declined. He says that he believes that's for the best. We have all have value and input from our shareholders, whether or not they're on the board. Elon is our biggest shareholder and will remain open to his input.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this sound like a corporate speak to you?
Because it is. That's
It
what it.
absolutely
That's
is.
what it absolutely is. It's corporate speak.
Corporate speak.
Yeah.
All right. So
It's maintaining your image.
Yep.
It's trying to spin it to whatever they're trying to present to the public.
I think Twitter is the next big purchase for Elon Musk, and this is how he's going to go about it. He'll keep on purchasing and purchasing and purchasing. He'll keep on suggesting items to be there, and when they don't do those items, he'll get upset and say, "You know what? We need to redesign Twitter."
Well, again, because he has the ability to, buy this much of the share, he
Out of
he has a
pocket.
very substantial amount of influence simply because of the monetary values involved.
Okay, we're gonna transition right now then into Mike's mesmerizing moment, and I'm gonna ask you, Gwen, stay on here. I'm gonna
Okay.
ask you the question here, Mike.
What's the question?
How do these people become successful? How does Elon Musk become successible? How do these people with these crazy ideas, how do they become successful?
Why are you asking me these very
well, you got a minute.
complicated questions?
Give me a minute. Answer it. Why do they become so successful?
I don't think this is a matter of why they become successful as so much as what have they done that has created the success.
Okay.
Because we can't really answer why. We can look at all the behaviors that go around that. Like the Steve Jobs thing. These are particular individuals that have a corporate face and then they have a private face.
Okay.
Right. So we don't know exactly what drives the behavior. We don't actually know what types of belief systems they ascribe to behind the scenes. They have a public front and a private front, like you do and I do and everybody else does. We know that Steve Jobs created this Apple image and this core, and even so much so that was it Scully that actually had to ask for him to come back.
That's kind of a
right.
The board members did. It wasn't necessarily Scully, but it was other board members that asked him to come back.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So we know that he has this vision, but he also had this very uncompromising attitude.
Okay.
And I'm sure Elon shares in that.
The same one.
But he represents a lot of things like, people respond to authority, and he has a lot of authority. He can bring a lot of financial authority to bear. And so even though people are going, "Oh, that guy's just nuts," he's doing things that nobody else does simply on the way he
does stuff.
Way he pushes things.
All right, Gwen, let me ask you a question before we head out.
Sure.
Would you work for Elon Musk as a technology expert? Would you work for him?
No.
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 Okay.
Why?
He's too unstable.
He's too unstable.
Yeah. One of the things that he likes to do is shake up his companies, which could be part of his success.
Yeah.
But he likes to change things around and get new people and new eyes and things like that, which makes it a very unstable environment, which is great for younger people starting out who have a long period of time to work.
Okay.
But I'm at the point in my job or in my career that I just want at least a little stability.
A little stability.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. But we always have to remember that regardless of what Elon Musk is as a person and how he goes about his business, there is a shared destiny, if you will,
Definitely.
because the people that buy into his ideas are really what drives everything that he does. So it's a dynamic that he has that he shares with everybody else that are a part of this
So
situation.
I've worked with a lot of billionaires
Right.
and a lot of multimillionaires in my life. I would enjoy working for him. I know he's all up in the air and he'd be crazy, but I think that he would be some of the most genius conversations around a table to have.
I like some of this stuff. I would love to be that first person that goes to Mars.
Yeah,
I'd love to, but
you're gonna have to pay a couple $1 million to do it. All right, well, here we go. We're gonna need to make sure that we get to our pick of the day, our whiskey tasting. Again, this is Mark's Mumbles for our Russell's Reserve single barrel. Do you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, Mr. Gourdet?
I'm going to give it a thumbs down. I enjoy the taste, but the bite is just too much for my palate.
Okay, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I thought it was pretty good. Odie, what did you think?
I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
All right, 2 thumbs down and only one up.
It's too much.
It's too much?
I liked it. It do the job, but it's just like,
It's a pretty strong stuff.
That's-
Some of us have stronger stomachs than that. All right, well, we enjoyed you on the show today. Always check us out at techtimeradio.com. And remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down